because the number 4, I don't know what is the correct way or correct form. Hello, teacher.
Hello. What correct way?
In the number 4, the sentence number 4, the exercise that we saw yesterday.
Oh, hold on. Let me open up the platform. Let me see.
Good evening.
Hello.
8 and 2. I'm early today.
Yeah, you're 2 minutes early today.
Yeah.
Wait, let me open my. Okay, let me share. Okay, do you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. So let me see what the one that we did yesterday. What was it, Nelson?
The number 4,
But which exercise, 3.3 or 3.4?
3.4.
Wait, or 3.2?
Yes, 3.2.
Oh, Bogota, remember? There's the correct.
Bogota, which is
But remember, Gio said that it has a space.
Yeah.
What is by
In the Bogota, comma, which is situated. That comma before which.
Bogota, comma, which is situated
Yeah.
on a
Without the
high.
space. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I did.
All right.
Mhm.
Oh, did the system tell you today that it was wrong? No.
Sorry?
Did the system tell you today that it was wrong? No.
No. Now is correct without space. But during the day, I try one more time. Always show me.
Yeah. Okay, so remember yesterday we're doing describing cities or places. Remember? Remember. 11th of November. Did you watch that movie V for Vendetta?
Yeah.
Do you know that was a true story?
Yeah. I heard about it. A little.
That, yeah. I mean, not the story, but yes, a man did exist and he wore that mask and he wanted to explode a parliament. I want to, we should have Talibanes in El Salvador. and tell them, go to the Asamblea. They say Allah is the devil. Ah, nombres, yes. Okay, go. Go explode. Do you know who was the crazy one? Saddam Hussein, when he took power. I don't know if you can still see that on YouTube. I now I think you can't, but when he took power, so he won democratically, and when he took power, everybody who voted against him, he killed them right there.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the famous gas mostaza that he threw. There was this pueblo or this town or city that city, the majority didn't vote for him. So when he wanted to practice that gas mostaza, he practiced on that city. He was crazy. But you know who was crazier? One time, if you can, read or watch the documentary on his two sons. Those were crazy people. The son really was sick. But he's dead now. All right. So that's what we were doing yesterday. Remember, Los Planes, which is very cool, has cool weather, is famous for its pupusas. Remember the. Okay, let's do this listening part. The instructions, Carlos and Vicky talk about San Francisco. Who seems to like the city better?
Listen to Carlos
hear?
and Vicky talk about San Francisco. Who seems to like the city better?
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hiya. Thanks for agreeing to meet me here on such short notice.
No problem.
Well, listen, as I said to you on the phone, I'm doing a story for a magazine. I'm interviewing foreign students to get their impressions of different cities in America. Well, this should only take about 10 minutes or so. Let's see. Do you mind if I tape record our interview?
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay, then. Carlos, why don't we start with you? What do you think of San Francisco? How do you like it here so far?
It's okay, I guess.
Oh, you don't sound very enthusiastic.
No, I like it. It's just that I've been so busy studying, I haven't had much time to explore the city.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, and when I have the time, well, it's so cloudy and foggy here, especially in the summer. I never thought I'd be wearing a sweater in July.
Well, this is Northern California. Hey, maybe you should move south. I hear Los Angeles is warmer. Vicky?
Oh, I love it here. I think this is a beautiful city. The rolling hills, the views of the bay. It's very romantic.
Yeah. So, how do you guys spend your free time?
Well, I'm studying architecture and I'm somewhat of a photographer.
Really?
Oh, I'm just an amateur. Anyway, I'm always taking pictures of the buildings in the city. You know, the Victorians, the modern skyscrapers downtown. There's such a variety of buildings in the city. The architecture is really great. I've also taken pictures of other landmarks like the Golden Gate Bridge. It looks totally different when the weather changes.
Wow, that's interesting. Well, Vicky, it's your turn. What do you like to do?
I'm a bit of a night person. There's always a new club or a film or a great outdoor cafe to check out with my friends. And we also like to explore the different neighborhoods. It's pretty easy thanks to BART. That's Bay Area Rapid Transit.
Yeah, that's a great subway system.
Anyway, yesterday we went to the Italian neighborhood, North Beach, to buy some pastries and have a cup of espresso. Today, I'm going down to the Mission District to get a burrito for lunch.
Hey, sounds like you like to eat Mexican food.
Yes. And actually, I like the Mission a lot. It's a Latino neighborhood. We don't have anything like that where I come from.
Well, that's about it. Any final comments?
No, not really.
I'd just like to say that this is a great place to live. I'm glad that I got a chance to study here.
Mission Street. Have you ever been there? There's a lot of pupuserias. They're famous. All right. Can you imagine that girl? What's her name? Vicky. She likes to see neighborhoods at night. Can you imagine her here in El Salvador? All right, you want to go visit La Tutunichapa? Yeah,
La
let's go.
campanera.
La Campanera. El
Este,
Pepeto.
Italia.
Mhm.
Okay, who do you think likes the city better?
I think it was Vicky.
Yeah, definitely Vicky.
Yeah.
Carlos didn't say anything bad, but he didn't say anything great.
Mhm.
Instructions, listen again and type in the city features Carlos and Vicky mentioned.
Features.
You notice a feature?
Maybe about that architectures and all that things.
Yes, but what is a feature?
The nightlife.
Características.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I need to buy a new cell phone. What features are you looking for? Good camera, good memory. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Big RAM.
I am picky. I am picky when I buy a TV or something electronic. In that, I am picky. I don't care about my clothes. No, I buy anything. But when it comes to electronics, I am picky. I like to see the features. You know, in fact, what I recommend, you should buy a LCD TV. Just don't buy a smart. And buy a Fire Stick. It's better.
The Amazon Fire Stick.
Yes, or a Xiaomi My Stick. Because look, when people say smart TV means it gets internet, but sometimes smart TVs are tricky. For example, my father-in-law, he bought a 60-inch TV or something, a Sony. And I told him, no, don't buy it because, but he said, no, okay, good, buy it. The problem is that Sony, yes, it's a smart TV, but you can only get YouTube and Netflix. You can't download anymore because Sony, I think they broke the
Relations with the other.
with Android or something.
Uh,
That's the bad part about. So eventually, if someday that TV needs Netflix needs update, yes, do he can't use it anymore. So, FYI, if you ever buy a TV like, hey, un chero está vendiendo una Sony 80-inch and $200, be careful porque it's pretty. Maybe it doesn't get apps, or buy it and buy the Fire Stick. That's cool because the Fire Stick se le puede hablar YouTube. Yeah, I prefer that.
For $60.
Yes. And in Fire Stick, you can even download IP channels.
IP?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you can just
IPTV.
yes. So in my opinion, that's better because if you buy, like, let's say a Samsung 50-inch TV, $500, and then the other one's $300 because the only difference is that this one's smart and that one's not, buy the one that is not smart and buy a Fire Stick.
Yeah.
And you're set. Okay, let's listen to it again. Listen to who takes pictures of their, oh, well, let's do that one. You want to listen to it or you remember?
I remember that Carlos likes to take photographies of the architecture.
Yes. Who is more like a night person?
Vicky.
Vicky.
Sorry. Yeah.
She actually said it. Who
Yeah.
says San Francisco is a great place to live?
Vicky.
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 And the number 2? Climate.
Number 2 is climate, architecture,
Ah,
landmarks, nightlife, and cuisine.
climate, architecture.
Here, let me copy paste.
You put again the answer and the sentence 2, question 2.
Oh, I put it in the chat.
Yeah, and the chat.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, next, lesson objective. By the end of this session, participants will learn to use modifiers in the correct order. Interesting. Listen, let's learn about modifiers.
Modifiers.
I thought you were gonna say something modifier.
No, modifiers. Modifiers.
Yeah. It's modifiers. It's not another. Okay, let's listen.
Let's continue talking about places. I think Antigua Guatemala is a picturesque, small old town with an incredible history. Order of modifiers. We will begin this lesson by reminding you about adjectives. What are adjectives? Adjectives are words that describe or tell about nouns or pronouns. They make sentences more interesting. They give details that make your meaning clearer. They tell what kind or how many. Now, when 2 or more adjectives modify a noun, they must follow a particular order. Adjectives or modifiers follow this particular order: opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, purpose, and the noun. Let's talk about each one. Opinion. An opinion adjective explains what you think about something. Often people may not agree with you. Examples: silly, beautiful, horrible, difficult. Size. A size adjective, of course, tells you how big or small something is. Examples: large, tiny, enormous, little. Age. An age adjective tells us how young or old something or someone is. Examples: ancient, new, young, old. Shape. A shape adjective describes the shape of something. Examples: square, round, flat, rectangular. A color adjective, of course, describes the color of something. Examples: blue, pink, reddish, gray. Origin. An origin adjective describes where something comes from. Example: French, lunar, American, Eastern, Greek. Material. A material adjective describes what something is made from. Examples: wooden, metal, cotton, paper. Purpose. A purpose adjective describes what something is used for. These adjectives often end up with ing. Examples: sleeping, as in sleeping bag. Roasting, as in roasting tin. And then the noun. The noun, the figure that is receiving the adjectives. Now, take a look at some examples of sentences using adjective order. Silly young English man. huge, round, metal bowl. Small, red, sleeping bag. Old, green, wicked witch. Now that you know about modifiers, try to write a couple of sentences.
I'm lost here. No, I'm joking. Look, this is interesting. I like the purpose adjective. This maybe is the only adjective. I'm sorry, class, can you hear me? Yes. Okay, this is maybe the only adjective that would have an ing. Yes. For example, sleeping bag. Yes.
It's a noun.
I'm sorry.
It's an adjective plus noun.
Plus a noun. Yes. Hold on, let me see. You see these?
Look, liquidation.
What are these?
Answers.
No, they're glasses.
Glasses, yeah.
But they are what? What kind of
Sunglasses.
glasses? Sunglasses.
Sunglasses.
What about Jordanas?
Seeing glasses.
Okay, yeah, well, actually, no, there's two. There maybe are reading glasses
Reading.
or eyeglasses. When people say eyeglasses, it's permanent.
Oh, okay. No, mine are not permanent.
So those are reading glasses.
Yes.
Okay,
Good.
good. But you see, you have the ing.
Okay.
The reading glasses.
Right.
All right.
Okay, good.
So you can mix, you can put many adjectives, not many, but you can put 2 or 3 to describe a situation.
Right.
We were young, wild, and free. It was only you and me. Remember in his name, Brian Adams.
Brian Adams.
Just like Kevin, remember? Oh, thinking about our younger years. We were young, wild, and free. See, young, wild, free. Those 3 are adjectives.
Okay.
Yes. When you want to offend somebody, you can use all the adjectives. You are a cynical, angry, stupid, old man. Okay, or you're a crazy, toxic, liar, witch, of a woman. I mean, or if you want to describe something beautiful, like, you are you are the love, you are the cutest. When women talk to babies. I can't think of one right now, but my wife, she's good at that. You are the cutest apple peach. Booyah, cachetón. And she says like 10 adjectives. I just say one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do you understand?
Yes.
When you describe somebody, hey, what happened? How is he? He's tall. He's tall, dark, and skinny. He's tall, dark, and fat. He's tall, dark, and handsome. Yes? You can describe that too. All right. Do you have any questions? But remember, don't confuse adjective with adverbs.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so we understand what determiner is.
Yes.
Opinion. That's what I'm saying. You're horrible, difficult. For example, algebra is terrible, horrible, and useless.
Yes.
Most of the time.
Yeah, because, well, in my profession, in my life, I never used algebra, and I suffered learning that.
Same here.
Do you think
It's only for enjoying the study times.
I think it's only for
Right.
teachers.
Enjoy.
enjoying, right?
You know,
Yeah,
when
but-
numbers have letters, why? I'm sorry,
Right.
Jordana?
I was thinking like, yes, most of us might think that it's not useful, but do you think that that make us think deeper or deeply,
Deeper.
like to develop our brain and our,
Maybe that was
Skills.
that was the
Skills,
reason,
brain.
maybe.
Maybe,
Maybe.
it's for the seeing the problems different in the life.
Yes.
I thought people in NASA would use that.
Yeah. They imagine it in geometry and then blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
When
Well, you know, the only person that I know that uses that is my brother-in-law because he's an engineer, but he actually buys those calculators, very expensive, that for me, they're basic, but he buys them for all those formulas. I said, you paid $100 for this? He said, yeah, it's for my job. And then I see the problems he makes. I said, nah, you see, that's why I prefer to be a teacher, man.
yeah.
Yes. Well, numbers is not for me, so. Okay, so that's my opinion about algebra. Some people say, okay, for example, Jordana said, maybe it was useful, maybe it was necessary for us to think. Then we have age. Age is ancient, new, young, old. We have shape. What is a pupusa? It's a circle-shaped stuffed tortilla.
Mhm.
What is a pupusa? It's a circle-shaped tortilla stuffed with cheese, beans, and pork. You know, just like the basic. If you want to go into details, that's your problem. Oh, you see, because that's shape. Color, that's simple, right? Blue, pink, reddish. I like red hair.
Red hair.
Yeah. Ruth, your hair is red, correct?
What?
Your hair is red, correct?
Yes, for
Yeah.
now.
Right now, yeah. I don't know why I like red hair. It's cool. Because it's not very common.
Yeah, it's common.
Like Irish people, they all have red hair. Pobrecito, man. Do you know Ed Sheeran?
Yeah. In English.
No, he's Irish.
Singer. Irish. Or
Yes.
uh,
It's funny because he is extremely, extremely white. And look one day in Google, el meme de Ed Sheeran, it says there are white people and there is white Ed Sheeran people. Because they took a picture of him in a yacht without a shirt. It's like, man, he looks like a alien because he's extremely, extremely white. Entonces, así decía, there are white people and then there's Ed Sheeran. It's funny.
I think sleeping bag.
Okay, we have material. Oh, material, wooden, metal, cotton, paper. Ahora, puede parecer que no son adjetivos, but if you're using them, yes. I need a paper bag. One very important thing, okay, because the adjective always describes the noun, so then the adjective is always first. And in Spanish, it's the other way because red car, carro rojo. In Spanish, is the opposite.
Yep.
So remember, in English, the opposite, I'm sorry, the adjective is always first.
Vice versa, yeah.
Adjective is first.
Yes.
Rojo carro.
You can't say that in English. You can't say that.
Red car, or black car, white car.
Yes. All right. All right, let's listen. Listen to Maria and Ian talk about life in Sydney. Who seems to enjoy living there more? I would like to go to Sydney one day, to Australia. I would like to live in Australia. Because people say you have no neighbors. Your house is here, and maybe 1,000 meters is the other house. Because Australia is extremely big, and the population is very small. I have a friend that he says, yeah, I know, he's from El Salvador, but now he lives in Australia. And he says, we are the only country that has controlled COVID. I said, dude, because there are no people. You live like, we live in pasajes. You live in mountains. Mountain number 1, mountain number 2. There's this big, how are you going to get sick? All right, let's listen.
Listen to Maria and Ian talk about life in Sydney. Who seems to enjoy living there more?
How do you enjoy living in Sydney, Maria?
I love it. I lived in a little mountain town in the US before I moved here, so I'm really enjoying Sydney life. And the climate is great most of the year.
What do you like most about it?
Well, for one thing, it's a very easy city to get around. The public transportation is pretty good, which is important for me because I don't have a car. So, you see, I use buses and trains most of the time. I can usually get wherever I want to pretty easily.
How about you, Ian?
Well, it's a very beautiful city. I love the harbour and the opera house. And the beaches are great, of course.
Oh yeah, the beaches are great. There are great beaches close to town, like Bondi Beach.
I know, it's true. But I don't have a lot of time to go to the beach because I have to work 2 jobs to make enough money to pay the rent. Actually, I'd really prefer to live somewhere smaller. I find Sydney too fast, too noisy, and definitely too expensive.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm just lucky, but my rent's not bad at all. Actually, since I'm splitting the rent with 2 roommates now, it's about the same as I was paying in the US. And, yeah, I love the nightlife here too. On weekends, my friends and I usually go to a club or a place with live music. There's always something interesting going on downtown. I've made lots of friends since I moved here.
That's great. Ian, what do you do for fun in Sydney?
Well, not much, I'm afraid. It's so expensive to do anything here. Also, because of the high rents, I can only afford to live out in the suburbs. And there isn't much happening out there, believe me. I guess once in a while I like to go to Chinatown, though. There are plenty of restaurants there where you can eat fairly cheaply. Good ones, too.
Is that right? I can't seem to find cheap food anywhere. In fact, the restaurants near me are so pricey that I hardly ever eat out.
All right, here's a question. If you could change one thing about the city, what would it be?
The traffic, without a doubt. I used to drive back in my hometown, but I hardly ever drive here. There are far too many cars, and drivers are very aggressive. You have to know where you're going, and you have to drive fast, otherwise other drivers can be really rude.
See, I don't have a car, so that doesn't really bother me. Actually, I wouldn't change anything. It's so much better here than the tiny little town where I used to live.
I don't know. Sometimes I think life is better back home. Sure, it's smaller, but it's easier to live a good life. And you get to know the people better too.
The good thing about that video is that not only in El Salvador are people intolerant when they drive. So maybe Australia too, according to the video, to the audio. Okay. Let's see. Who seems to enjoy living there more?
Maria.
Maria.
Okay, it's easy to get around Sydney.
Maria.
But
Both, right?
easy to get around. The beaches are great.
The beaches are
Number
no,
one.
actually Maria, because
Maria. Yeah.
Yes, Ian drives, Maria doesn't, remember?
Yeah.
The beaches are great.
Yeah, but
The rents are expensive.
Yeah.
It's a fun place to live.
Maria.
The restaurants are expensive.
Maria.
Both.
Yeah, both.
Maria.
No, Maria, because Ian says he eats in Chinatown for and it's cheap. Life is better in a smaller town.
Yeah.
We're green.
Yes. Next.
Okay, read each exercise. I'm gonna read it and pay attention to it, please. Okay, let me see. A tale of two cities. What is a tale?
Story.
Story.
Es un cuento, una historia. No, más un cuento. Porque story is a story. Y sí, se pronuncia igual la cola. Tail. So, si alguien me pregunta, what is tail? Yo le voy a decir cola. Yeah, because it's, so, a veces cuando alguien le pregunta eso, ask them, can you give it in a sentence? Oh yeah, a tale of two. Una de dos. No, un cuento de dos. Okay, it says, welcome to the oldest rivalry in Australia. Sydney has its opera house and harbour. Melbourne has quaint old buildings and parks. Sydney has spectacular beaches, but Melbourne's are less crowded. Talk to Melbournians and they'll say their city is best. Talk to Sydney-siders and they'll say their city's #1 place to live. According to many Melbournians, inhabitants live a life of ideas, discussions, and debate. People are active in the arts and live well. Then again, that's the Sydney-sider say about, that's what Sydney-siders say about their city too. Talk to Melbournians and they'll tell you They'll tell you their city has friendlier and more outgoing people than Sydney. Most Sydney-siders won't disagree, but their city being less friendly, nevertheless, they'll be quick to tell you that it's dynamic. World-class city with tons of things to do and see. Sydney-siders say they are always busy enjoying all their city offers, such as the crashing surf at Bondi Bront, or Manly beaches, bushwalks through Sydney Harbour National Park, or browsing in Paddington's colorful weekend market. People in downtown Sydney are always on the move, rushing to make contacts, cutting deals, and gaining influence. In Melbourne, eating out is a pastime, and a pace of life is slower and easier. Melbourne may not have the great surfing of Sydney, the beautiful Darling Harbour, or the Opera House. Instead, it's low-key and savvy. You have to dig a little to get under the surface. But once there, you'll find a perfect example of a chic, ultra-modern city. Sydney looks internationally for inspiration, but Melbourne tends to look regionally. To Japan, for example, in a world where in a world, if you were to compare them to American cities, Sydney would be sunny LA and Melbourne would be charming New York. I would live in Melbourne, in my opinion. Do you understand that expression, low-key?
Which one?
Low-key.
Lucky.
¿Seguro o cerrado?
Low key.
Low key.
Low key.
It says keep it low key. Not lucky.
No.
Okay, let me give you an example. Like 4 years ago, maybe, I went with my mother and my wife, and we went to eat to the beach at Olavetos or Betos. I don't know what it's called.
Chapeleta.
Olavetos.
Not Chapeleta, it's cool.
Chapeleta.
Chapeleta. No, but I went with my mom. No, when I went with my mom, I go to good places because she pays.
Ah.
Yeah, of course. To my wife, I take her to Chapeleta. Or I take her to China Walk on Wednesdays. No, Tuesdays. La cosa, cuando están al 2x1. But when we were eating there that day, it was very hot. It was very, very hot. And I asked the waiter, can we go upstairs there, to the, where's the room is closed with air conditioning? And he said, no, because it's ¿cómo se llama? Cuando ponen algo en la mesa.
Reserved?
It's reserved, thank you. I said, oh, okay, and it was reserved. But when I went to the bathroom, I saw 2 bodyguards. I said, oh, maybe someone imported this upstairs. Okay. I imagined it was a politician. So, but no, everything was very low key. So when we paid and we were going out, somebody was walking down. Ya que ya se iban, it was 3 people maybe. It was Arjona. Yeah, and I think he had a concert the day before or 2 days before or something, and he was there. But it was very cool because it was very low key. Low key is don't make a scene, a scandal. Low key.
Like low profile?
Low profile, yes. Mm-hmm. Por eso la gente dice, keep it low key. Like, of course, I imagine he needed to have a bodyguard or a driver or something, but you know, he had well, hey, he's tall. He's tall. He was cool. There was this nice girl with him. All right. So that's low key. Many artists, you know, like Paul Walker. Remember Paul Walker when he came to El Salvador?
Yeah.
Yeah. He stayed in a $10 motel in El Tunco. Can you imagine that? Eso es más low key que saber que. Paul Walker, the actor that died from Fast and the Furious. He was in the beach. He came, I don't know, he came 1 or 2 or 3 times and he stayed in a cheap hotel at the beach. Only him with nothing. He just came to surf. That was low key. But one time they recognized him because there was a beach party and he went. And everybody was looking at him. They thought he was Paul Walker. It's like when I go to the beach, people think I am Brad Pitt. I don't know, it's not me. I'm joking. ¿Quién más vino? Otro famous. Oh, Steve-O. Él me hubiera encantado.
Singer.
Yeah, Steve-O.
What singer?
Singer, man.
Bono from YouTube.
Yeah, Bono. Red Hot Chili Peppers came.
No.
Steven Tyler.
Yeah, Steven Tyler. Yeah.
Aerosmith.
Aerosmith.
Yeah.
Red Hot Chili Peppers came. And this I didn't know. This was by accident. I was reading a magazine and they were talking, but they came in the 90s. And I was reading an interview and they said, oh man, after that tour, we were so stressed. So Flea and I, we went to Central America to surf. We hit the beaches in El Salvador and Costa Rica. And we go, wow. But in the 90s, imagine today is impossible. All right. Entonces eso es low key. No como los diputados, they don't know what low key is. It's like, you know, can you imagine Bukele, man? He has like 20 cars in front, 20 in the back, and 20 in the side. Poor man. Yeah, so. But, you know, presidents, I understand. But like diputados, I don't even know who they are. And they like to make a big scene. All right, so let's continue. So let's see. Where would you live? Sydney or Melbourne? Are you a Sydney person or Melbourne? I would like to live in Melbourne because it seems more artistic. In my opinion, Sydney is more modern. Okay, both Melbourne and Sydney, both Melbournians and Sydney-siders love their city. True or false?
Yeah, that's true.
True.
So, hey, this is interesting. I am San Salvadorian. I am Apopian. Jordana, what are you?
I don't know.
So what is the name of your city?
Ataco?
Atakian.
Yeah, so maybe
Atakian.
you're Atakian. Yes. Imagine, what would it be a funny name? Soyapangian. Apopian. Congian. I'm Congian.
Congian.
From el Congo.
Right.
Okay, Melbourne is famous for its spectacular beaches.
No.
False.
False. The pace of life is slower for Sydney-siders than for Melbournians.
False.
False.
False. Is the contrary. Melbourne gets ideas from different countries in Asia.
Yeah.
True.
True.
I have a question.
Wait, hold on. I didn't check if you were right. Yes, hold on. Give me 1 second, Jordana. Let me go back.
Sure.
You see, we finished. Next week, we start number 4. But
Right.
you see, don't ajolot people. Sometimes they work.
A whole lot.
Don't ajolot, yes. I'm sorry. So what was number 1?
That was
True.
true, false, false, true.
False. False. True.
Submit.
All right. Okay, Jordana, tell me.
Yes, I don't understand what it says in Melbourne. Eating out is a pastime. Pastime. What is pastime?
It's
in
a
this
hobby.
case?
Oh, okay, very good. A pastime.
Oh,
It's like a tradition. In El Salvador, okay, that's a good question. Pastime.
pastime.
People
Okay.
say baseball. Have you ever watched baseball?
The-
Some people say it's
the
boring.
sport?
Some people say
Yes.
it's boring. Blah, blah, yeah, yeah. But baseball is called America's pastime.
Oh, pastime.
Es algo como folclórico, something, algo bien propio que se hace ahí.
Mm-hmm.
Like in El Salvador, drinking coffee at noon with sweet bread is the pastime.
Yes.
4 o'clock.
Yes. In El Salvador, eating pupusas on Sunday is the pastime. Wow. Aunque la gente diga, no, every day. Oh, yeah, okay. But, the tradition
Sunday
started.
It's a mandatory.
It's mandatory. Yes. Yes. So, good question, Jordana. So that's what pastime means. It's like the hobby of that situation.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. That's why people say, that's why people say America, baseball is America's favorite pastime.
Pastime. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
What is El Salvador's pastime? What do you think it is?
Salvador's pastime.
Maybe pupusas, right? Eating pupusas. Is
Eating pupusa.
Mhm. Yes. So basically the pastime is something symbolic. Many people today might say, no, man, that the most popular game in United States is football. Okay, maybe it is, but it will never, never be compared to baseball because baseball is a sport and tradition, politics, and history of the United States. In fact, do you know that because of baseball, big stadiums exist?
No.
Have you heard of Babe Ruth?
Baby Ruth. Yeah.
Yes, he was maybe he is the greatest baseball player in history, the Messi of baseball. Not the Pelé. And what happened was that he was so famous in the 1920s, 1930s, that's really Babe Ruth. Every sport in the world le debe a Babe Ruth because he was such a big sensation that everybody in the United States traveled to see him play. And then people from the world traveled to see him play. So here came a very good, smart businessman. And he said, what if I make a stadium for 30, 40, or 60,000 people? Porque era rentable, baby.
Okay.
So he built it, which is the Yankee Stadium. And the Yankee Stadium, it says, the house that the babe built. And in that time, all the games were in the day. Because, it was a hobby, but because, everybody says, hey, man, we can't because we work. That man said, hey, but everybody works. Why don't we make the games at night? Okay, so then they put lights in the stadium, and it was the first stadiums that had night games. All because of Babe Ruth. And then came soccer, and then all the sports. You know what Babe Ruth did one time? I think it was like the first game or something. The first game, and there were like 60,000 people. They called him Babe because he was a baby. He always acted like a baby because he was an orphan. And he was always like a baby. He loved children very much. And he always visited children, etc. And that day when he was batting and he saw everybody clapping, he started crying. And when the game finished, he sat down and he gave an autograph to everybody who made a line. Yeah, that's what he says. They are here for me. I am here for them. So, oh man, yeah, but it's history. So that's why baseball is not only a sport; it's part of history of the United States. So that's why it's the pastime. So if somebody says, "No, baseball boring," yes, okay, maybe it is, maybe it's not, but football will never be like baseball. It's a tradition. And if you have anything of Babe Ruth, you are a millionaire.
Oh, okay.
Do you know how he ended? It was very sad. Because when he finished, he was very old and fat. He couldn't play anymore. Pero he was Babe Ruth. The people, the Yankees couldn't say, hey, baby, ya estuvo. No, you play until you want, And then, but he couldn't bat anymore. And the pitchers and the people that played against him, they felt bad because mi ídolo, man. He's my idol and he sucks. Ya no sirve. So the people from the Yankees, the New York, they made something that now when Babe Ruth at the end, he was old and he was very fat. Ya ni podía pegar. So he played many games until they told him, look, you love baseball, but baseball does not love you anymore. So when he would play, lo buchaban, they booed him. Yeah, and that really hurt him. But it wasn't consciously. They were doing it, so hey, por favor, go. It's like, can you imagine a Mexico playing right now? You can't, right? Imagine a Mexico playing with Faz. No. He can't even run. Y los que le marcan hasta les da quizás pena, like, oh, no, man. No quiero ridiculizar al México, right? That's what happened with Babe Ruth. So he stopped playing. But the last game, he did something that has never been done. He looked at the stadium, okay, and he pointed where he would hit the ball. So he pointed the home run. He pointed where he was going to hit it, and he did. Boom. Now, maybe the pitcher threw him the ball perfectly, but still, he hit the ball and he hit the home run. And when he started running, he took off his hat. And that told the people of New York, like, yes, se va a retirar. And, everybody stood and they started clapping. And even the other team, came running with him and they were like, go, 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 yes. And when he hit the last home plate, he said, I'm out. And everybody was crying and it's history. That bat, I think it's like $1.5 million. Pero creo que están, Francia tiene Mona Lisa. Algún United States tiene el bate de Babe Ruth. That's how the bat is. Mm-hmm. So that's why, Jordana, that's why baseball is the pastime of America.
Hey, wow. Nice
It's very,
start.
it's Babe Ruth. Yes. Okay, class, I hope you have a very nice weekend.
Maybe.
Yes. Gio.
Can we, knowledge check, the number one, knowledge check.
3.1?
The number one, the first one. I just want to watch the number 2 answer.
But which one, 3.2?
No, the number 1.
Section 1?
Oh.
Yeah, section 1.
We're going back to the beginning.
Yes, I got one wrong, and I didn't know how to.
Hold on.
It was the number 3. Spending Sundays or spending weekends.
Yeah.
I tried so many ways and always get wrong.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
All right. Which one was it? Number 111?
Yeah, it was the number 1.2, another check. And
all right.
Number 3.
Oh, to spend Sundays with.
Yeah.
I got it wrong too. That one is wrong permanently.
And you can
Okay.
and you can watch in the answers, the page.
I did, look, they all have answers. Ahorita I press answers, look. Oh wait, I'm sorry. You're not seeing my screen, right?
Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I thought I had you.
Yeah, to spend Sundays with.
Look,
answer.
It doesn't even have the answer, the platform.
Visiting her parents on the weekend.
So that's why it's wrong, because it doesn't have the answer there. The answer
No, but here,
one.
aquí está abajo. Hasta ahorita me doy cuenta. Look, hoy tiene the answer. Hey, ¿verdad que Jordana hace poco no tenía esto? The answer. Here, I'm going to put it on the chat.
Okay.
Visiting her parents or. My God.
So then there are 2 possible answers. Visiting her parents on the weekend, or to visit her parents on the weekend, or 3 possible answers. Visiting her parents on the weekends, to visit her parents on the... God damn, there's a lot.
See.
Se me fue la 4, I'm sorry, but it was actually...
Okay, let's try at least one.
Let's try this one.
Yes.
Submit. Ah,
you got it?
Praise the Lord.
Oh yeah, no,
yeah, there you go.
Tonight
the first
going to sleep well.
All right then. Okay, class. Have a great weekend. All right.
Okay. Thank you, David.
Same to
All right.
you. Good night.
All right. Bye bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.